Hi, I'm Alli, and I'm here to share my story with God. Growing up, I was always fascinated with God and what it meant to be a true Christian. My parents were opposite religions, which made things super difficult, but they always encouraged me to know God and find a relationship with Him. I wanted to know who I was and why God created me, but most importantly, I wanted to know why God was here and who He was. At the start of 2020, I was an eager senior in high school, colonel of my dance team, an honors student, and full of life. I felt as if I was at the peak of my happiness, but little did I know that I was at the start of my journey to the bottom. At this time, I was getting out of an abusive relationship and learning to love myself on my own. My previous relationship never failed to remind me that I was not beautiful, loved, or enough. My faith was even used as a tactic to keep me with Him. I was told that if I didn't stick around or fix His problems, that God wouldn't love me. I was brainwashed to believe that my mission was to save someone who was constantly breaking me. But I did not realize at the time that I was broken. I didn't have a level of self-love or confidence, no matter how hard I tried to pretend that I did. My relationship with myself and God were tainted, and I wasn't even able to pretend that I loved myself or anyone else. My relationship with myself never really got better. But who could blame me after years of being taught that no one would love me because of who I was with? My plan was working beautifully. I was able to hide my pain with my team, with my friends, and school. I was too distracted to feel any pain, but that was until COVID-19 took over the world. My school was shut down, and I was forced into quarantine. My support system was ripped out of my hands. I no longer had a safe place to vent my soul or to fill my heart. But it was too late. My insecurities already began to settle in, and I was too worried about my weight and what I would be without dance. Working out was the only answer for me, and I began my journey of unneeded weight loss. My plan started as an innocent attempt to better myself, physically, mentally, everything, through meal plans, running, and consistent workout plans. Unfortunately, this became a new obsession of mine. I would spend my days running for hours, followed by another workout, and the remainder of my time was wasting my time running and working out. I began limiting calories and restricting myself from the things that I loved the most. My life now revolved around numbers instead of being curious about the Lord. From numbers on the scale, to counting calories, to timing miles, to even maxing out during workouts, I was now just a number, and this is where my eating disorder began. Excuse me. Okay. My eating disorder began the day I began to control my life and didn't allow God in it. I wrote my own narrative of who I was and didn't allow God in. Nowhere in this moment was God in the center of my life. Although I continued to read my Bible, say my prayers, and listen to worship music, I did not believe that God could help me. Excuse me. I took everything into my own hands and made changes for the worst. Rather than trusting Scripture, I began to believe the phrases such as, "You are not enough," "She's better, prettier than you," and "You look like you've gained weight." The further I got from God, the worse my eating disorder got. I began to abuse weight loss supplements and took my weight into my own hands. I became quickly bulimic, and my body was responding quickly. I was losing my hair, I was swollen in my face, I was gaining acne, and I was showing signs of malnourishment. I didn't understand what was happening or why it was happening to me. I spent my days crying to my siblings about how much I hated my body. And I spent my nights crying to my parents about the lack of confidence that I had. I was spiraling fast, and any ounce of love that I had for myself was gone. From the months of March to August, I managed to destroy my body and my relationship with everyone, including God and myself. It wasn't until late August that I truly gained an understanding of what I was doing to myself. I felt so ashamed of what I had done, and I began to seek help from Christ. I broke down on my childhood bedroom floor, and I opened my Bible and flipped to Psalms 139:14. And this states, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your words are wonderful, and I know full and well. Unfortunately, I was too broken at the time to understand these words or even believe them, but I continued to read them every day until I could believe that they were true. But it was in this moment that I heard the Lord speak, and he told me to go. I was unsure what this meant, but I decided to change my life and find out exactly what that meant. I decided to go to college and move away from my hometown. I attended Texas State University, and I was unsure about my decision, but I just kept hearing the Lord say, go, and so I went. The last night in my childhood home before going to college, I was reading a post on social media, and it stated the scripture Matthew 28:19, and this says, therefore, go and make like disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. This very post validated what God was trying to tell me. His word to me, go, and his word to all of us, to go and make like disciples. I had no idea what was next, but I knew that God had plans for me. Upon arrival at Texas State, I was bombarded with the works of God. My dorm just so happened to be surrounded by campus ministries and more opportunities for me. Before I was even able to settle in and set down my last box, I was receiving calls from a certain pastor about ministry opportunities around campus. That same night, I attended a ministry that I now call my home ministry today. Within the first month of my college experience, I was blessed with the opportunity to meet many individuals just like me, some with acne, some on a new journey to meet God, and even people with eating disorders. I was overwhelmed with love and validation. Although I was still struggling in the heap of my eating disorder, I was not alone, and I had a village to take me out of this dark place that I had put myself in for months. God was providing me with more than I can ever explain to this day. God is saving me before my eyes. As I mentioned previously, I was a dancer in high school, and my team was known as the Purple Diamonds. And our slogan, well, it was pressure makes diamonds, don't crack. For years, I allowed this phrase to take over my life and create a false image in my mind. I figured that if I cracked or let anyone see that I was broken, I would no longer be beautiful or saw as strong. But through my experience, I discovered that I was not cracked. I was shattered, and that's okay. You see, diamonds are beautiful whole, shattered, cracked, in any condition. One shattered diamond has the ability to create multiple smaller pieces that can be shared with multiple people. Just like the Lord said, we are to make like disciples and spread the word of our Trinity. And I would not have been able to do that if I was whole. I was in pieces, but I allowed God to piece me back into something stronger, more beautiful, and powerful than before. Because of my experience, I truly met God, and I was baptized in April of this year. I turned something that defined me into something that educated me. I know what it's like to fall and break, but I also know what it's like to allow the Lord to work in our lives. Because of my experience, I am now able to help others in my situation who also feel alone. I'm able to help others find God on my journey to find him as well. We're all broken inside, but God makes us beautiful. He makes the small things gorgeous inside of us. And with him, we're made whole. Thank you.